and welcome back to my channel. Big news, we have the first green arrow of the season. I will be going through my team review in my team selection video, which will come later this week. But in this video, I'm going to get a head start on my transfers, discuss 3 players I'm thinking of transferring out and 3 players I'm looking at bringing in. Before I get into it, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm getting very close to 4,300 subscribers. So if I could get there by the time I upload my team selection, I'd be very, very happy. And now let's look at the players that I'm planning to get rid of. First of my players that are on thin ice is Eze. I think I'm probably going to have him in my team for the entire season and just complain the whole time. I'm a bit bitter about it because my choice was Eze or Mbeumo. I thought with Zaha out of the squad, Eze was going to be the one to be getting goals left, right and centre, but unfortunately that seems to be Mbeumo. So I should have gone for the Brentford pick. When I went to the Brentford game and saw them play Palace, it was ridiculous how much involvement Eze had in absolutely everything. He was carrying the team, but unfortunately could just not finish. He's only scored 1 goal so far this season, which has given me hope. I think that's why he's lasted this long in my team, but he's only averaging 3.2 points per match. And I just think there are better alternatives out there. I can either downgrade him to someone and then make an upgrade to Son or Salah elsewhere in my team, or I can bring in a cheaper alternative that is more likely to have goal involvements. And looking at Eze's upcoming fixtures, they don't fill me with much confidence. We've got Manchester United away, then Nottingham Forest at home, which could potentially be a good one for Palace. But Forest are looking a lot stronger defensively this season, and I don't see them conceding a ton of goals. I also think that maybe the goals will be coming from Edouard, so not feeling too confident in Eze's abilities at the moment. And then we go into Newcastle away and Tottenham at home. I'm just not that confident, and with his ownership only at 8.4%, if I do get rid of him and he does have a decent game week, I would just have to say goodbye to flying through the ranks and getting a huge green arrow. But he's not an immediate transfer. I'm just keeping an eye on him. I think if I wildcard in the next couple of game weeks, he will be going. I just don't think I need to prioritise him at all. And then another transfer out that I'm considering, I feel quite bad about, is Marcus Rashford. I'm such a big fan of Rashford. I was really eager to have him in my team. I went for him over Fernandes, thought that was the better choice. I really thought this game week Burnley was going to be an absolute walk in the park for United. I know they're not scoring a ton of goals, but I thought this was going to be a really easy fixture for them. Apparently not. I did recommend to people that if they have Rashford and Fernandes, that they transfer out Fernandes and go for Rashford. Sorry if you listened to that, because obviously Fernandes did score his first goal of the season against Burnley. But I think currently they are neck and neck, 1 goal, 2 assists each. There's not tons in it. Rashford's only averaging 4 points per match. I was expecting way bigger things. And upcoming fixtures, again, they've got Palace at home. I mean, Palace versus Man U. They're both not doing terribly well, so that could go either way. Then they've got Brentford at home, Sheffield United away, which I would be quite keen to play Rashford in, and then City at home. I think Rashford is one of those ones, it's kind of ingrained in my mind that I need to have him in my team, and his ownership's at 30.7%. It has reduced slightly, and he's gone down to 8.9 million. So other people are probably having similar thoughts to me. But I feel as though Rashford maybe might just tick along, but there just hasn't been that much from him. And again, this season, we've got so many better midfield alternatives that I'd be quite keen to go for. And Rashford at the moment, 8.9 million, that's really hogging a position from another player that could be a lot more explosive. And I think if I am going to make some tweaks to my team, I'll be able to upgrade Rashford and he will become Son or Salah. So again, one that I am reluctant to get rid of, but he is there, he's on thin ice, he's holding on just about. Someone that is so far below the ice, I haven't transferred him out yet, but it's coming imminently. We have got Ben Chilwell. Now, you may know that I am a Chelsea fan and I'm struggling. I struggled last season with it. I struggled this season. I've really tried to hold back on bringing in Chelsea players in. But pre-season, we were looking really good. Chilwell was looking incredible. He started off the season quite explosively, I would say. I was so happy that I brought him in. I did hold off from transferring in any other Chelsea players. I thought the luck was going to run out, and it has. We're not doing well. But even Chilwell's not starting now, and I did not see that coming. I thought, if we have a good player, we've got this great attacking defender, Ben Chilwell. Why the fudge is he not playing? It's really annoying me. First game week when he was benched against Burnley, I thought, okay, we're trying out different tactics, fine. He came on for 10 minutes, he got a yellow card. He got 0 points. Whatever. And then I thought, we're going to learn from our mistakes. If the game against Burnley goes that badly, surely we're going to step it up for Villa, we'll start Chilwell. Didn't. He did get slightly more minutes. He got 29 minutes in total, but then again, he got another yellow card. Another 0 pointer from Chilwell. I benched him, so it didn't really affect me that much, but I am so frustrated with how Chelsea is performing this season, and then having Chilwell on my team is just making things way worse. Only 1 assist so far this season, averaging 2.5 points per match. It's not really good enough, and when we look at Newcastle defenders, everyone's having a go at scoring, judging by the latest game week. Whilst Chelsea do have some good fixtures coming up, they've got Fulham away, then they've got Burnley away. Tempting to hold on, and I do think that Chilwell will be starting in the next match because Gusto is out. Obviously, he got the red card. And we haven't really got that many players to rely on, if I'm honest. Don't know why Chilwell's benched in the first place, but whatever. Tactics, obviously too much for me. But if you have got Chilwell, maybe do hold on to him. Like I said, I think there's a very, very high chance that he's going to start, but what do I know? I can't predict anything anymore. His ownership's at 23.5%. Unless he gets some attacking returns and keeps a clean sheet for Fulham, I can see that really dropping ahead of Burnley. But Fulham and Burnley are welcome fixtures. Hopefully Chelsea are going to sort it out, because I don't know where we go from here, if I'm honest. His expected goal involvement per 90 also is 0.57, which I do think it's worth sticking with, but it's this whole benching headache situation that's going on. We're turning into Man City, just with a less talented squad by the looks of things. No, we need time, we need to gel, we're a young team, we're going to make it. Right, let's move on to the next one, because I'm trying so hard. Basically, Chilwell, if you have a luxury transfer, I transfer him out. There are loads of great options at 5.6 million. But if you are stuck with him, I would start him this game week. Why not? Fulham away. Can't get much worse. Oh, I hate talking about Chelsea. I need to get rid of him from my team just so that I don't ever have to discuss Chelsea on here again. And then coming into players that I'm looking to buy. First up, we have got James Ward-Prowse, 6.2 million, currently selected by 11.3% of managers. He is looking very good. 2 goals so far this season, 3 assists. That is so much more than the people that I've discussed. Well, it's not tons more. 5 goal involvements in the season. He's averaging 6.2 points per match. I am excited to bring him in. I think this is a very likely transfer that I'm going to make. I was going to discuss, a little side note, I was going to discuss Gordon for this section, but he is 1 yellow card away from being suspended. And look how it went for Jackson, so I'm not going to be pushing any players that are close to a suspension. The other alternative also to Ward-Prowse was Bowen, but it's a very similar situation to what I was in last week, where I had the choice between, well, I didn't actually have a choice. I bought in Botman because I couldn't afford Trippier. Now look at how that went. Trippier, 3 assists. So maybe I should have tried to find the funds, but I didn't know that was going to happen. So if you have the money, I would probably prefer to go Bowen. But for now, I don't have the finances, so I'm going Ward-Prowse at 6.2 million. I'm very excited for the upcoming fixture. They've got Sheffield United at home. I'm hoping that Ward-Prowse is going to have so much involvement in every single goal they're going to score. If we can have an 8-0 situation where Ward-Prowse gets a hat-trick, I'll be delighted. He's on corners. I'm hoping that this will be a good transfer in, and whilst the ownership is still low, I want to get in there early. Obviously, over 10% of managers have already brought him in, so hats off to you if you have. But he's a really nice budget option, I think. And then my next choice, we can't have a double game week and not discuss a double game week player. Have I considered losing players at all this season? No, absolutely not. I've stayed away. But there's a double game week and I am a fiend for one of those. So we've got Carlton Morris. He's a great budget option. He's 5.5 million. He's only selected by 4.3% of managers. And so far this season, he's had 2 goals and 1 assist, which is great for his price point. I will point out though, whilst he has been involved, so Luton have scored 3 goals so far this season. He's been involved in all of them, obviously 2 goals, 1 assist. But I will flag that both goals have been penalties. So there could be an element of he might not necessarily be a goal scoring machine, but if he's on a penalty, you bet he's going to get it in. But even so, there is no harm bringing someone in whose minutes are nailed and he is on penalties. I do love a penalty taker on the team unless they miss, and then I never want to talk about it again. But the ownership is really low and I don't see many managers jumping on him just for the double game week. I am in a very luxury position of using my wildcard in the next couple of weeks. So I think my plan will be probably to take out Wissa and bring in Morris. And the fixtures, let's discuss the fixtures. Why haven't I clicked yet? The fixtures also look really good for this double. They're playing Everton away and Burnley at home. I can definitely see Morris getting some goals in that. Maybe even penalties. Who knows? stranger things have happened. But then they go to Tottenham at home, then Nottingham Forest away and Aston Villa. To be honest, I will probably just transfer him in for the double and then either bench him for the following game weeks or transfer him out for another alternative. But 5.5 million, double game week. Like I said, if you want to have a bit of fun with your team, I wouldn't say he's an absolute must-have. It's not like Haaland's got the double game week with these fixtures. But Morris is one that just adds a little bit of spice to your game week, I'd say. And then the final one, he is back, Kieran Trippier. I had him last season and I raved about him the entire time. He was really a set and forget person to just have in the defence. 6.6 million. It is expensive for a defender, but if he's going to start getting returns like he did last game week, then it's an absolute bargain. Selected by 35.2% of managers. This is one that's very funny because a lot of casuals obviously saw how well he did last season, brought him in at the start of this season, and then everyone that's involved in FPL and follows it really closely, we seem to have avoided Trippier until the fixtures changed. So hats off to you if you've already got him in. Like I discussed earlier in my video, I did want to bring in Trippier over Botman, but unfortunately I just couldn't afford it. But Kieran Trippier looks like such a good choice. Apparently I haven't included stats on this slide, so let's just look at the fixtures. They've got Burnley at home. Will we see a remake of the 8-0 win? Newcastle actually broke a record, so hats off to them for that. They had 8 different players scoring in one game, so very sad if you're on the receiving end of that, but well done to Newcastle. I can imagine the atmosphere in the stadium was wild amongst Newcastle fans, but he got a clean sheet, he got attacking returns. I mean, Trippier, Botman and Burn, all really good choices. I got very lucky bringing in Botman. It was just a straight swap from Henry to Botman, very similar price points, 0.1 million in it or something. But Trippier obviously is that higher end of the budget. So I would recommend bringing him in if it doesn't completely tear apart the rest of your team. If you're going to have to make big sacrifices to bring him in, I would probably go for a cheaper alternative. But I love Trippier and he's the highest scoring defender so far this season. Only Anderson from Palace and Botman, obviously from Newcastle, are 1 point behind. So it'll be interesting to see how far this gap widens, whether Anderson and Botman are going to be able to keep up the momentum or if we should just go full force into Trippier and have him again as a set and forget defender this season. But he's got huge clean sheet He's got huge clean sheet potential and Newcastle defensively are looking really, really strong too. So I think it's a great choice to go for. But do let me know in the comments what transfers you are planning to make. This is a very informal video, very chatty. So if you want to put in some wisdom or just have a chat in the comments, do feel free. I will be uploading my team selection later on in the week and be able to talk about a team that actually did well for once, which I can't wait for. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We are on the road to, I said at the start of the video, 3,800, I think, something like that. Anyway, subscribe, get it higher, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.